Welcome back to Class&Cool. Today we're going to be doing some more monsters and memories. I believe we're on day 4. Yes, we are. Day 4 of 7 of the Monsters and Memories playtest. And you know I can't get enough, but just to back up a little bit, again, this is Class&Cool. For those of you that don't know, I like classic and cool MMORPGs from, the good old days. So, Monsters and Memories is an in-development game by a group of passionate devs that came from places like the original iCUE that maybe played Ultima Online back in the day, World of Warcraft, Asheron's Call, etc. Dark Age of Camelot. They all love MMOs, and they know something isn't right with the current state of MMORPGs. We all know something isn't right with the current state of modern MMORPGs. So Monsters and Memories is a throwback to what MMORPGs used to be. They can be very punishing, but they also can be very rewarding, and no microtransactions. I don't think I've ever mentioned that, but I feel like MTX or microtransactions are such a common thing nowadays that people even stop complaining about it, right? This is one of the few MMORPGs that I can think of that will never have microtransactions. Basically, all the progression that you do, every sword, every piece of armor, every trinket, every single thing you earn in-game. You can't buy it. So I'm sure you can buy a beanie or something from the merch store so you can wear it and look cool, but we're not there yet. We're in alpha, then it's going to go into beta by the end of this year, and then early access comes out 2026 and probably Q1. So we're right around the corner. I'm excited because we got 7 days to play, and in November, there's going to be a playtest from November 1st to 10th, so 10 days to play. So again, if it's your first time, go to monstersandmemories.com. They have click on the little link. You'll see the logo for Discord. Sign up to their Discord. That's where me and the rest of the peoples chill. And since it's an indie dev team, we're basically hanging out with the devs all day, every day. They stream all of their progress on Twitch. We get to provide feedback, and they're just cool people. So anyways, without further ado, we are back with Dracos, the Wood Elf Druid, and Faelindral, the Wood Elf City. And it's currently nighttime, but we're gonna get back into our adventure. As you can see, I upgraded my armor. I actually have a goal of what I'm gonna do, and this is gonna be great. Nighttime looks really cool in this area. All right. Without further ado, let's not... Man, OBS be annoying. I don't know why it resets every single time. It stopped saving my setting. Anyways. We're back. So a couple things. I'm going to work on completing a couple of personal quests and stuff like that, but I petitioned my little issue with my quest. I think it was the Druid quest. I wanted to finish it, but I was having some issues with it. So hopefully the GMs answer my petition, but basically one of my bags disappeared. Besides that, I'm creating my own quest. So in my notepad, Yesterday I said I was gonna get some raw wood elf meat. I was gonna cook the wood elf meat, and then I was gonna sell and then focus on getting tattered high. We're gonna add a weapon to that list. And you know what? One suggestion for this, and I'm gonna send a message in the Discord later, but what they should do with the notes is they should make it so you can like add chapters or tabs, just so you can continuously keep going. Let me see if I can show an example of how this works. Yeah, so kind of like, I don't know if you guys notice this, but the notepad right here, see how the notepad works for Windows? So they added this tab feature, and then you just exit out and it's there when you log back in. That would be really cool for this. I'd love it. Because I take a lot of notes. Like if somebody sends me a message, I'll write down, you know, whatever tips they're giving me. I might copy and paste something from the wiki. I might do some math on a trade skill. It would just be nice. So like new tab, boom, 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 boom. And then, you know, exit out and you're good to go. I made a little macro for it yesterday just so I can pull it up quickly. So let me, for now, I'm just going to blank all that out. So yeah, yesterday we were able to finally get some new pieces of armor. Not that, this one. So 10 AC. I figured instead of getting 10 pieces of cloth for like 1 AC each, that I'll just focus on getting the higher yield armor class items. So 17 AC, like right off the bat, before even like reaching level 4 is pretty Gucci. There's a specific item that I want. Not this. Where is it? Oh, I think that's it. Nope, that's not it. I remember the attack delay was like 28, so... I'll know it when I see it. No, it's definitely not tarnished. It's none of these. Dang, did he run out? No, there's no way. Let's look again. I must have just... It's not the bronze mall, and it wasn't 8 silver. It was like 5 silver. 5, 6... That's weird. Was it 8 attack, 35 delay? I don't think it was, my man. What's going on? 5 attack, 34 delay, 8 attack. I mean, that's fine, I guess, but that's not what it was. Alright, fine. So, I'm gonna add that to the notepad. So, 8 DMG, 35 delay, corroded, bronze, mace, and that's 5 silver. Definitely don't need the two-handed one. Oh, there she is. Alright, perfect. Six damage, 28 delay, corroded, bronze, warhammer, 6 silver. Yeah, that's what we need. So that's our quest. Well, that's where we're leaving off from yesterday. I still want to focus on getting some more tattered hide, and then yeah, I'd rather have this one. Wargammer. Oh man. Anywho, let me say hello to the people in the chat, if there's even anyone here. I have no idea. Oh, goodness gracious. Let me catch up. Classic EverQuest seems to be impressed, but it's not a big deal. Hold on one sec. Got my... Got my fresh coffee, and I just want to make sure it doesn't get cold. All right, sorry about that. Classic Ever said, I wish I could just stream like you. I sit at my computer and I'm just like, dang, do I have it in me? Then I don't do it. You know what? It's when it's something as good as Monsters and Memories, and it's not an everyday thing, it's not like I can do this all the time. It's worth it. Twidget said, oh sorry, actually Brian Joseph said, you starting on time this time, Class&Cool? I know. I saw the time and I promised 12:30, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start at 12:30. Twitchit said, Twig has made it. Good to see you, Twig. Classic EverQuest said, thanks. I just mean it's hard for me to get the oomph to flip it on. Oh, I hear you. That's why I literally have a full, not even a full cup. I have a full gallon. It's not a gallon. It's a pot, a full pot of coffee. Full pot of coffee. Coffee. All right. Twitch just said, here we go. Twig has made it on day 4. That would help having more than one note. Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, instead of having like a long list like this, and what happens if you don't have a middle mouse button because there's no way of going up or down? You know, I'm using my middle mouse scroller to do this. And I have one of those fancy mice where I can like make it go shoo, shoo. All right. Slam said, actually, yeah, Slam said, greetings, Class&Cool and friends. Ready for another banger of a stream. I hope so. I hope we get some new loot, and I definitely want to get on the grind for a bit. I was like, I'm so silly because yesterday when you were like, yeah, we defeated Bone Structure, and I was like, wow, Slayheim is like incredible, dude. Like, the playtest just started and he's already level 16. And then I realized, I'm like, wait, I have a level 8 bard. All of our progression is saved from the previous playtests. Like, just because I'm doing a fresh start doesn't mean everyone else is. So, speaking of the bard, I'm thinking of definitely going back and playing the bard a bit. Because I started on time, I do need just a second here, so bear with me, kiddos. Alright, I'm back, just settling in. Alright. Believe it or not, even though I'm here, I need to make sure the rest of my house is spick and spam and locked up. Gotta keep the alarm on and the hammer ready. Yoink. And one of these days, I'm gonna take advantage of the fall damage being turned off, and they're just gonna turn it on me randomly. Here, let's try this really quick. This is what I petitioned the other day, and I'm gonna let you guys see the mud window so you can see what I'm doing. This is my fault, by the way. So he's probably doing the same thing I am. Let me show you. So right here, hail. Hail and welcome, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll read it. Hail and welcome to the Well of Order. Feel free to browse, but no taste testing. The last one who tried got a purple tongue and a swift kick in the trunk. Let's go to the journal. We'll go back to the conversation we had on the, when was it? On the 3rd? So, would you be, okay, here you go. Would you be willing to do a small favor while I look over the file? I'm just going to say, yes, I will do a favor. Let's see if that works. Okay. The shop is running a little... Oh, sorry. I need you to find me 2 royal jellies. This file sorted out. Okay. So I'm not going to read all that, but basically what should happen right now is she should give me a bag. And she doesn't. Did she give you the bag? I believe mine is bugged. Just curious what Dark Wolf says. So, and this was my fault. What I did is I handed the bag back to Sylvine. I handed the bag back because she didn't give me these instructions. Like, I handed her the file and she kind of acknowledged me and said, all right, good job. I said, what did I say? I said, I'll do the favor. She handed me the bag, but then she didn't give me the instructions on what to do next. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, let me see if I can fix this by handing it back to her. So I handed it back to her, and normally what happens is they reject the item because it's not complete. Instead, she swallowed it up and didn't give it back to me. I'm sorry. Let me rewind. Instead, she took the bag back and never handed it back to me. So there you go. So I petitioned, and I think a GM, the GMs are great, by the way. They messaged me, emailed me the very next day, and they said it should be taken care of. But maybe on their side, it shows that I have the item, but unfortunately not. So, fortunately, we have other quests to work on. Twitch said, we are here. Twig is half asleep, though. It's okay to be half asleep. We're all half asleep. It's late. Slam said, I get those same feelings too. Classic EverQuest is a constant battle, doubting myself before I start the stream and then just not doing it. Well, what I would say to both of you guys, since both you, Slam, and Classic EverQuest, you guys, the stream, set your expectations super low and just be like, if you do fail, then you can look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I told you so. I told you so. I've had some very weird and awkward streams, especially like when I'm super tired. I'll be on my like 4th hour and I'm just like, right now, guys, we're kiting. And my voice will be cracking and I'm just like, oh, okay. I actually saw some random, I'm not sure if he was random or somebody I know, but it was a dude playing Monsters and Memories, and Monsters and Memories or Pantheon? One of those two. And the dude literally fell asleep on stream. He was like this, and then he was just like this. And he clipped it and posted it, so it was hilarious. Oh, that's just a wasp drone. I'm trying to farm this wood elf blood. Nice. Twig just said, Twig is still level 4 cleric and still have no clue what's going on, but it's fun. Well, that's the fun part. None of us know what the heck is going on. We're all just kind of like winging it. I think I'm done. I'm not keeping any more of this Dryad sap. I was saving it because I always save stuff like this just to see if it can be used for something, but I'm just sick of seeing it in my inventory. I almost forgot. Let's to my, first of all, quests, raw, focus on tattered hide, weapon, what's the thing? Tailoring. So we're gonna focus on tailoring. Bags. So we're gonna make some bags. And we're gonna keep collecting more. Collect cloth scraps. Alright. Let's see. Explore skeleton ruins. So I want to explore the skeleton ruins. Jeez, man, I got bit by a mosquito today. Big time. I finally got to mow my lawn. Twig said, we'll stay for a few, but need to go to bed soon. No problemo. It is extremely late. I can't do that right now. Said, hey, old brother, happy to see you streaming again. I'm happy to be here again. And shiver me timbers, it's not even as late as it usually is. Alright. Let's go find some wood. Let's go find some wood as I run through a literal city of wood surrounding me. Because it's a tree city made out of wood. Man, this is such a cool vibe though. I haven't spent the time to run around this path and just look up. This looks so cool, man. I think somebody said it yesterday or on stream. They're like, this is what Kellethan looked to us when we were like kids. Like when we would log in on our CRT monitors and the gamma was down way low and everything was dark and you couldn't see 2 feet in front of you, and you'd look up and you'd see the platforms. Like, this is what classic EverQuest in 1999 looked like to us. We're like, oh my gosh, this is so epic. And it was, and it is. Like even nostalgia aside, it's like one of those things where if you know, you know. You can just log in after 2 years and then just get lost for like a few years and just grind out a few characters. Majestic said, yo, 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 yo. Got my bar to 7, mate. Congratulations. That's freaking awesome. You're doing it the right way. I would say leveling up is definitely doing it the right way. If I could land this big hit. There we go. There it is. Man, they better not have nerfed it. I'll be so upset. But yeah, that's awesome, Majestic. Congratulations. Bill said, hey, Class&Cool, glad you're liking it. Kelthan was one of my favorite zones in EQ. For me, same thing. It was my favorite zone. Still is. 100% will forever be my favorite zone. Because that's where it started. I mean, I remember I went over to my boy Raj's house, and he was playing it. And this was right when it just came out, and it blew my mind because he was in Kelthan, he was an elf, and I was looking over his shoulder, and he wasn't talking, he was just like in the zone, and I was just standing there trying to figure out what was happening, because it wasn't like a normal, like you're playing Quake, for example, or you're playing, I'll use Quake as an example, like you're running around and then you see mobs running around, but like they have predictable movements. And I see him running around. I'm like, oh, cool. He's playing some fantasy game. But then I see NPCs running around, but they're like kind of erratic. Like this one will run in front of you and then run away. And then another one will just cross paths with you. And I'm just like, what the heck is wrong? Like, this is kind of cool. These NPCs look like they're really like alive. Like you're in a city. And I was like, finally I spoke up. I said, so what's going on? And he's like, oh yeah, so I'm a wood elf. This is a treehouse city. You can go up on these lifts, and I was like, what's up with those? Well, I don't even think I called them NPCs. I just, because I'm a kid, we used our own terminology, and I said, what's up with those guys? Like, are those mobs or whatever? I don't even think we used that term back then. Like, we would use it sparingly. We just said that, you know. And he's like, oh, those are real people. And watch this. And he had enter on the keyboard and he started typing. And it's like, and it's just like AOL Instant Messenger. You can talk to these people live right now. That's a human right there, sitting somewhere on the other side of the world. And I was like, mind blown. It was crazy. And it was Kelthan. So that's, obviously that was my first experience. And then after that, it was curtains. I mean, I continue going back to Kelthan over and over and over. I think it's still a well-designed zone, and you know, when you can get lost in a zone, I think that's cool. Like you've accomplished the goal of making it feel like the woods, you know, because you go too deep in the woods, you'll get lost, right? Right now, I'm struggling to find any wood. I'm just bumping up the gamma for you guys because it's probably super dark on your side. I say that all the time, but you know, I'll say it again. So you guys don't think I endorse turning your gamma up, because the darkness in the game is perfect in my opinion. Bill said, glad you're liking it. Yep. Classic Evergo said, back for another chill stream. Well, I'm glad that you're here, brother. It's always fun hanging out with you guys. And Jessica said, so much fun. I haven't even explored the game yet, just the first kind of zone. Yeah. I mean, and just exploring, and so that's how I treat the iCUE to this day. I keep going back to iCUE, but because there's so many parallels, like I'll go ahead and play, but I'm not going to explore every single nook and cranny right away. There's still tons of zones in EverQuest I've never been to. There's raids I've never done. You know, that's what I like about Monsters and Memories, is like they're designing the world to be massive enough that you can accidentally miss content, and not because you're rushing through it, but just because the world is so dense, you know. So yeah, I've been doing the same thing, kind of just exploring. As Madania said, hello, this is my first time. I made it to the live stream. Cats woke me up. Oh, thank goodness for the cats. My cat just ran outside. Curious to see you exploring. Well, right now we're looking for wood. So that's going to be exciting. So enjoy that part of it. But besides that, I have some other goals that I want to accomplish for myself. Get some more armor, level up. Let me see what these guys are doing. I might just join up with these guys. Hey folks. You guys want one more? Let's see if they want me to join. They might just say kick rocks, man. They want to keep a duo. Oh, no, they're cool. Let's buff them up. All right, let me get myself situated. Nice. Anywho, it's nice having you here. Asmadania. That's a cool name. Bill said, and yeah, I like to go hiking and want to add that kind of foresty feel to the zone. We were originally thinking of making a gorge in the zone, but we'll save that for a different zone. Yeah, so the I'm not sure if I ever saw, I think I saw the gorge version. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did you guys, whoops. Sorry guys, I just broke my Twitch. A good gamma setting is the original one, which is 50. So the base, I would keep it default. The only reason I changed the gamma is because on stream it looks perfect for me, but I've watched streams where I didn't adjust the gamma. Like I've rewatched one of my streams on my phone, and I'm like, oof. So basically, like my audience was staring at a blank screen for 3 hours. And keep in mind, when I say my audience, I mean myself too. Like I'm my own audience, because I rewatch these streams. Because look, I look at it this way. Remember back in the day when we didn't have like cameras to record our like adventures in EverQuest? Well, now we do. So this is more of documentation. Like once early access and 1.0 Monsters and Memories comes back, I'm going to be able to record, store it in the cloud because YouTube, right? And then rewatch it one day when I'm old, and I can just be like, remember this, Sonny? Back in my day, we used to kill skeletons in a zone that Filth was making. They were going to do a gorge back then, but they changed their mind. I was there at the groundbreaking. Nah, but you guys are doing a great job. Gorge or no gorge. Just a good vibe. You know? And good vibes is what keeps people coming back. You know, they want to come back to something that feels good. It needs to be dangerous, it needs to be challenging, but at the end of the day, you want to be able to feel like you're coming home. And this definitely feels like home. Twidget said, what's a good gamma setting? I just said that. Sorry for reading that twice. So just keep it default unless you really, really need it. The one instance that you might need it is some people have very different monitors and they've complained that the game's too dark. So before we had a gamma setting, there was just one brightness. So this is to help the people that have monitor issues. So just stick to 50 and you should be good to go. Bill said it was concepted in a top-down map, but don't think it ever made it to 3D. Gotcha. Okay. Slaying monsters and making memories. I wonder if those brownie people walk through here. I think HDR is making it super dark, Twidget said. Yeah, something like that. Like some people in the Discord and other places complain that, yeah, the reason they want some kind of gamma setting lighting thing is because either HDR is giving them issues or OLED or something like that. I'm not sure. Give me a second. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, that would be great. Bilth. He said, need a little brownie colony like in Lesser Feydark. 100%. There's a lot of things that, you know, look at this guy's his little beans, his little pink beans. I had a cute little guy. He's so cute. Zukin he does such a good job. His creations really feel like they just mix with the world nicely. Such a good team of people, man. I'm just so excited because if this was just being created by random people, I'd be like, well, I hope they don't screw it up. But they're doing a great job. But yeah, it would be nice if there was like a brownie camp in this zone. I need to remember what they're actually called, because if I don't, I'm just gonna call them brownies from now on. They're not dryads. What were they called, dude? Alright, well, if anyone remembers what they're called, let me know. It's they're the little tiny wood elf people. Holy moly. And that thing... Oh, it's red, that's why. I'm glad we're pulling reds, but that's crazy. Pixies, fairies, and brownies. Yeah. The so no, but what I'm saying in this zone, there's oh, there it is. It's right there. It's called a dryad. So when I say brownies, I mean these little dryads, and there should definitely be an encampment of them because they're cool. They're cool to kill. And very dangerous too. Yeah, dryad. Yeah, exactly. So I need to remember that dryad. Because if I'm telling you, if I just keep saying brownie, then they're gonna be brownies, and I'll never be able to remember dryad. Mind if, oops. Group. One yellow above. Oh, he just reminded me of something. Mind if we kill the occasional dryad. I'm collecting their stuff. If it crosses our path, of course. Hopefully they say yes. That way we can kill two birds with one stone. Oh, I think he pulled it. I still gotta do range request. What is it? Look at a bunch of places or something. Oh. I bugged my own Druid quest. Boohoo. Let me see if I can pull this dude. Yeah. Scrunt speaks the truth, he said. Because I said I bugged my own Druid quest. And he's doing like his ranger quest and stuff. He said such is life in the alpha zone. I'm still amazed that, you know, all things considered. That's one of the reasons why I was so adamant about completing the Druid quest. Because compared to how I saw the zone 2 months ago or a month ago, they've made so much progress that is like night and day. Like it feels like, oh snap, is this zone ready for production? Like, is it actually ready? I would say in its current state, I mean, yeah. Like obviously there's a lot more stuff that needs to get done, but they did so much in such a short period of time, and this recent like build of the zone is very, I mean, there's mobs everywhere, there's merchants and NPCs, so the quests are working. Now granted mine got bugged, but just crazy what a good job they've done. Now just repeat the same step for like 10 more races and starter cities. Good luck. Hopefully some of the people can go full time if they want to once funding comes in. I hope money actually helps the game development. Like you'd think obviously it would, but how many times have we seen that it's like, all right, well, you know, we're gonna crowdfund this game and the money's gonna help them develop it, and then for some reason like they get crowdfunded and they do even less work than they did before they had money. So Monsters and Memories isn't crowdfunded, right? They've literally been funding their own game with their own wallets and have never taken a dime. But still, you know, the expectation is early access equals sub fee equals you can pay these people, which equals the people that have been doing this part-time because they have to work a 9 to 5 can potentially choose and say, I'm going to put more time and prioritize M&M because not only is it my passion project now, but it's also my breadwinner. That'd be nice. Bill said early access I feel like will be like adding gas to the car. Hopefully just go a bit faster. Yeah. They just need to they need to make sure what happened to Pantheon doesn't happen to them. The guard is this way, bud. What are you doing? You need to run. Yikes. Dude, I better not get one shot. Come on, guard. Ah, he did it. Anyways, I mean, maybe there's another guard there, so I'm not sure where the heck he was running to, but I wish him well. Let's see if we can catch up with him. Feels bad when you misclick and attack the banker. Twitch it said, yeah. You know, it's funny. You look, if you guys are sitting at your computer, look down at your WASD key, right? Okay, and you see how there's an E right next to the W and there's a Q right next to the W. So I what do you call it? Remapped my keys so that E is auto run, so E auto run, and then Q is auto attack, and then I use tab for tab targeting. I've this is how I play EQ, and this is how I play M&M and any, and also Agile on online adventures. Just what I find the most convenient. But I've definitely hit Q before accidentally and gotten myself killed. Why am I following him? I should know where I'm going. Dang, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, build. Early access. I feel like it should add... Hold on, I'm gonna follow this dude. I don't know what he's doing. So build... Here, I'm sorry, I gotta get rid of this guy. He's annoying me. Alright, maybe now I can respond, build. So early access I feel like will be like adding gas to the car, hopefully just go a bit faster. I hope the same thing. I hope they're able to have the funding they need to go faster, and I hope that what happened to Pantheon doesn't happen to them. And I mean, nothing bad really happened to Pantheon. They're still making progress, but they were bombarded with so many eyeballs and so many opinions, and it was like, how do you keep up with it? All the bug reports, all the requests. We want this, add this, this is missing, that's missing. Like, I put myself in the shoes of a developer and I'm like, where do I start? You know what I mean? You really have to have a lot of discipline. And I really hope Sean and Nick and Zukin and Goblin and you, Build, and the rest of the M&M team. I hope you guys just stay focused and disciplined on your vision and your goals, because even though it's early access and even though it's not going to be on Steam, it's kind of inevitable. Once people start paying to play the game, they're going to have their set of expectations. And while it's okay to have a wish list, what's more important is making it to 1.0. Making it so all the races are in, making it so all the classes are in, making it so that all the starter cities are in. Like, wish list items can happen down the road, you know what I mean? So that's what I hope for. I hope that going into early access actually speeds up production and doesn't slow it down for the sake of just closing petitions, basically. Classic EverQuest said, I think the sub is what prevents that. Pantheon has no income. Yeah, the one-time $40, I mean, it was like a quick influx of cash, and I think it was a pretty hefty sum of cash. But it's oh, but I see what you're saying. The sub keeps people from, you know, just coming in and wasting the community's time and wasting the devs' time, you know. That's why I can't stand free-to-play games. Free-to-play is just, I mean, it what is it? It facilitates the worst of the worst from the MMO community. So that's why I don't play free-to-play games. A sub fee basically says if you feel like getting committed, then it's like you pay to play or whatever. And if you want to be a troll, it's like, okay, well, come be a troll. Pay your $15 a month sub fee, and I hope you feel bad being a hater and paying us money at the same time. It's like, imagine somebody paying you every single day to come and hate on you, right? It's like, okay, go for it, dude. As long as you're paying me, I don't care. You can say whatever you want. And then you just ban them. Swoda said, how did you get that vertical beam spell? So the vertical beam spell is it's one of the starter spells. It's called Moonflame. Unleash Moonflames upon your target, dealing 3 damage at level 1 and 5 by level 4. And then he pulled 2 skeletons again, dude. This guy is great. He knows how to pull. No, I'm not knocking him, Scrunt. You're doing great, dude. It's kind of hard when they're on top of each other. Here, I'm gonna pull one. Actually, no. Here, I'm just gonna take one. I'm gonna take one for the team. Nope. Come on. Come on. All right. I was gonna pull one for the team. So, Bill said, agree. Sean, Nick, Ollie, and team have a solid vision. It feels like won't get sidetracked. And I agree with you. And that's what I keep telling myself, built, but they're only human. And I've seen Sean on stream, and he's really good at handling trolls. But he's a lot like me. I can handle trolls. But you can see when I get right in the face, because I can be like passive aggressive, I can remain friendly, but it's really hard for me to hide my frustration. Like, I have no problem telling somebody to their face, like, yeah, like, you're not gonna talk to me like that. Just like I have no problem saying somebody on stream, it's like, All right, I'm pulling your comment up so I can embarrass you in front of everyone, and then I'm gonna ban you, right? So my point is, Sean is really good at just addressing the troll and the bad behavior and all that stuff, and he's just genuine and honest and explains himself. But you multiply that by a couple hundred people coming into your Discord, coming into your game every single day, and it's just like, look, I hope they don't pay any mind to that, because I think there's a lot more good than bad, and I'm over what do you call it? I'm making a bigger deal out of it than it is. But the reason I'm making a big deal out of it is because it's so key that come January, come February, come whenever EA comes out in 2026, that you just not remain micro-focused, you double down. And you double down on the trolls as well. Because once you're in EA, now there's going to be big people, potentially like Asmongold or some other people, that are going to make actual videos on your game, right? And I think Asmongold already brought it up, and Cone Carnage had his thing to say, and then he redacted or retracted his statements. Those are the ones I'm saying you kind of need to kind of push it to the side and be like, look, they probably didn't even look at the project. They don't understand it. They don't want to understand it. I mean, think about it. There's people that hate sub fees. They hate the death penalty. They hate everything there is to hate about classic MMOs. And their voices get louder the more success you find. And so far, Eminem has been having massive success from like a cult perspective, like cult following, I guess. Not an actual cult, you know what I mean? Just like you know how cult classic movies, like people, never mind. It's a cult. J. Michaels, like trying to meet quality people at the casino. Oh yeah. You mean like playing a free-to-play game? Because that's the first thing I thought about. Swoda said, you're a druid? I'm a druid, and I don't have that spell. Really? Oh, I know why. So, unbeknownst to most people, when you start off, you have 2 starter spells. You get Woodskin and Minor Heal. But definitely go visit the Druid trainer and the person that sells Druid spells. There's like 4 or 5 additional level 1 spells that you can purchase. Obviously, when you first start the game, you have no money. But one thing I recommend is just buy those spells as soon as possible. Because there's 2 cool ones. There's 3. There's Moonflame. There's Ensnaring Roots, which is exactly what it sounds like. It roots your target. And then there's you get your first damage over time. And the damage over time reduces the armor class of the NPC by 1. And believe it or not, that makes a huge difference. Like I've pulled a mob because it has a quick cast time. And I've pulled it with the flaming, whatever it's called. And the mobs just go down so much faster. Versus when you pull a mob just regularly. And that spell comes in handy even like by level 10 and beyond, because it's a quick cast and it takes very little mana. Let me see. Let me see if I can make the chat font bigger. Hold on. I made it too big. Oh crap. I just broke it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I fixed it, sort of. Yeah, so Swoda, sorry about that. Bill said, I agree with Classic. I think the difference is Eminem is devved by passion from the start, and ideally monthly subs will support the momentum. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And I'm just being overly cautious. And I don't really talk about that kind of stuff a lot because I'm not a negative person, so I try not to bring up negative stuff, even when it's in the context of saying I want to avoid it. But yeah, I mean, and the community is so strong. I mean, you're gonna have people like me that are glazing nonstop. So if anything, they can come and hate on me. I'll be happy to take the hate. And Swotus, yeah, it's called Moonflame. Moonflame, ensnaring roots, and then like flame something. J. Michael, Swotus, you're a druid. I'm a druid. Okay, everyone, Twig must leave. Oh, Twig said. Twig is probably gone, but I'll say bye again. Twidget said, okay, everyone, Twig must leave you all now. Good night. Have a great stream. Thank you for being here, Twig. Oh, well, thank you for being here, Twig and Twidget. You guys are both welcome anytime. Trying to get comfortable again. Bill said, I see it too, but I think you start to learn when it's just not something you care about because it doesn't resonate. Their opinions are valid but don't match ours. Yep. And by the way, yes, I agree with the part where their opinions are valid. I'm like, even when they're rude, well, actually no, when they're rude they can kick rocks, but if they're civil and they just have a different viewpoint, then it's like, that's totally cool to have a different viewpoint and a different opinion. And here's our opinion and here's what we're going to stick to. And if you want to give it a shot, great. If not, that's literally why we're not forcing anyone. No one has a gun to your head. You can play or you can not. But thanks for stopping by. It's when they become like like trolly and rude. I'm just like, dude, I get it. We're on the internet. You're sitting behind a keyboard. Everybody's tough behind a keyboard. I could never find the Druid trainer or the spell vendor. Swotus, where? Are you in Night Harbor or are you in Faelindral? Swotus said, I've been buying spells from the Ranger vendor. Well, that's creative. That's a different way to do it. Where do you buy it? So first, let me ask you a question, Swotus. Where are you? Like, which are you in Night Harbor starting off, or are you somewhere else? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Look at me. This whole time I've been fighting with a lumberjack axe. Oh my gosh! This is so embarrassing. Please don't tell the rest of my group. And we're not going to survive with 2 rabid wolves. This whole freaking time. Why didn't any of you tell me that I was doing that? I cannot believe this. That's hilarious. Well, that's going back down in the history books of embarrassing things I've done. Hit this dude already, man. Alright, that was embarrassing. Swoda said I'm in the Kelvin place, whatever it's called. Okay. And you're familiar with the main entrance. So you have the lift. At the lift, you have the shady vendor and you have those caravans. Okay. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the main lift. Okay. I want you, the next time you go there, I want you to go up that main lift. And I want you to turn around once you're up there. Look away from the vendors and look out over the ledge in the direction of the inn. So if you go up the lift, just turn around, look over the ledge. You're going to see the inn right here. You're going to see the mushroom caps. To the left, it's going to be a little bit illuminated, and there's going to be another lift right across from you. You can see that lift. Okay? Find a way to get to that lift. Okay? You can do it from the ground, or you can run through the city. I recommend going through the city, because it's not the lift I'm asking you to get to, it's the NPCs that are near that lift. Okay? Once you reach that part of the city, you're going to find the Druid spell vendor, the Druid guildmaster, and everything else you need. That's the best way I can describe it. So go to the main lift, turn around, look over the ledge, you'll see another lift over yonder. Find your way over to that lift. Before you make it to the lift, you're going to reach some buildings with NPCs. The building on the right is the one with the Druid Master, and the building on the left in the back corner, Brittle Sharpening Stone Trade, thank you, is the one that sells the Druid spells. Thank you, kind sire. And apologies, I just realized I've been using this whole time. Yeah, except for I can't. I just confessed to my team of what I've done. Oh, and one more thing, Swotus, yeah, don't feel bad that it took you so long to find it. If you look back, if you have time and you want to see a rerun, go to day 2 of this playtest, because day 1 I was playing the Bard. Day 2 is when I created this guy, and I spent the entire day just exploring and getting to know the area. It took me a long time to find them, you know, and I mean, a lot of these, so some things will not be fixed by props, but a lot of things will. The more fleshed out the city becomes, the easier it's going to be to like find identifying markers. Like there's an alchemist, right? And you can tell it's the alchemist because there's like a glowing flower outside of it, and there's a big sign that says alchemist. Like, I'm sure they're going to add more signage and more visual representations to make you realize where you're at. Some places in the city have that, some places don't. And a lot of those visual POIs is going to really make a difference. So don't feel bad. It is kind of in the corner, and it's not the first place where you'd think, oh yeah, this is where the Druid would be. It's like, no, this is, I'll look. I was like this because I remember I looked in there. I'm like, I'll look in here, but nah, I wouldn't think it's here. And there is actually a sign. It says like worms something weird, word something. But it was slightly different than what the note said. I think the note said, like, I'll just make something up. Like the note said word band, but when I saw the sign, it was like word league, right? It was like there was that one word that was different at the end. The first part of the word was matching what was in my note, but the ending of it was different, and I was like, it kind of threw me off. Shattered skull. Let me ask them if they want this. Whoops. Let me see if Bilt is still here. Oh, he is. Yeah, so there you go. Bilt even said Druid and Shaman guild halls are going to get a rework. Yeah, I suspect that as much, and you know, it's so much of this zone is still under construction. Like I've said this so many times, I feel like a broken record. A few months ago, I would just come here for the scenery to check it out, but I couldn't comfortably level up, you know, and have that experience because everything was placeholder. This is something I can feel like I can stay here for a long time. So it's only going to get better. While Bilt is here, I had a question for him and I completely forgot. And it's probably not going to come back to me now. It's where you turn in the note. Yes. Swotus, it's where you turn in the note, question mark, to Silvaria, Starville, yes. So I did the whole first quest with the mushrooms and the file. Okay, so you're in the right place. Go back there, Swotus. And when you're inside of the building where Silvaria, Starville is, when you're in that building, you're in the wrong building. It's actually the building that's right next to it. And inside of that building, there's a Druid spell merchant. I don't know why they decided to put it in two different places, but I think it's just because it's a work in progress. Yeah, so when I say trainer, just ignore that. It's the spell merchant. So leave the building that's for Silvaria, Starvale. So you're going to turn around and you're going to see a building right in front of you. Run into that building and look in that back room, and you're going to see somebody that says Druid Spell Merchant. I'm rooting for you, Swotus. This is going to be, especially if you have the copper to buy these spells. I'm stoked. I'm about to be level 4. I should be saving up for me. Please have some blood. Anywho, I'll be on for a bit if you have cues. Swoto said, oh, okay, I'll look there, thanks, thank you. Yeah, I wish I could remember what I was thinking about. It was a specific question, I think it was about the zone, or maybe it was just like an in general type of thing. Don't you hate it when that happens? You have a question, then you're like, I don't even know. I'll ask it, but probably not a good time. It's like, oh wait, no, I should ask it. And then you get sidetracked for 1 minute, and then it's gone. And I guarantee it's gonna come back like later tonight. Like after I say goodnight to everyone. All right, guys, have a great night. Closing down the stream, getting some sleep. I'll see you guys later. Click, disconnect, and then the question will come to my head. I'll be like, oh. Anyways, BRB 2 seconds. Checking to see if my cat is at the back door so I can let him in. After this wolf, BRB. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick bio and then try to let my cat inside. Bro. Nice. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, just settling back in. It's still no kitty cat. I'm not sure where he's at. Alrighty, Swoda says, I found the merchant. Thanks. Man, my pleasure. And by the way, I mean, when I was having quest issues with part 1 of the Druid quest, the one thing I didn't do until way later in my process is ask for help. Always ask for help in game, because that's really what makes a difference about M&M. People are just always willing to help. Because that's what happened. I didn't know if I was doing it right. I just needed like a sanity check, and I asked a random Druid, and I think I DM'd them. I saw him running by the Druid guild. I saw that he was a level 3 Druid, and I DM'd them. I said, yeah, do you know what's going on here? And he's like, yeah, you got to do slash this. And I was like, okay, that's what I did. And yeah. Oh, run away. I took one for the team there. Or at least I was trying to. Nice. All right, let's heal up. I don't know why I can't get comfortable today. We spent all this money for these comfortable chairs, and then you just can't get comfortable. It's got like so many adjustments. I'm like, there we go. All right. Trying to have good posture, and then half the time I'm just leaning. As Modania said, at first I did not ask for help, but once I pushed myself over the threshold, I felt welcomed, and also finally found the fisherman trainer. Learned more and can even give advice now and then. Yeah, and that's kind of the goal. You know, it's that moment when you realize people are there to help you, and they actually do. And then you go on with your adventure, and you probably don't think about it again after the initial interaction. You don't forget about it. You appreciate it. But you're not like constantly thinking about, man, that person that helped me. But fast forward like 20 levels, you run into somebody asking the same question, and it kind of brings back to your memory that person that helped you then. And it makes you eager and excited to help that person. You know? Because you know it's going to leave the same kind of impression on them. So yeah, it's good times and good vibes. That's one of the reasons why I always come back to Kelethin as a higher level, And I always buff the low level people. I'm always giving away free, you know, leather armor or like maybe a fine steel sword, because it's such an impactful feeling when a higher level or somebody just with more knowledge helps you along your journey. See, Bill, now I'm literally trying to forget that I even had a question, because in the back of my mind I can hear that little voice saying, "So what was that question? So what was that question? So what was that question?" I'm like, "Can you shut up?" Because I'm trying not to think about it. It's so annoying. And I remember it was like something simple. It wasn't even important. Anywho. So let's see. We're about to be level 4. My original goal was to get more of the wood elf meat. So far we've kind of deviated from that goal completely. We ended up getting a group, which is great. But I think this will work out in our benefit, because we're about to level up 4. And then it's going to make the grind for the money that I'm trying to make a lot easier. So everything happens for a reason. Asmodeus, Bill said, agree, to take some practice, Asmodeus. Feels great once you get used to it and helping others. Yup. Like, it's one thing to say, hey, the game's immersive without a map. But it's another thing to actually experience it. Because when you're truly... because here's the thing. Anyone that wants to play can easily throw on a map on the second monitor. And many people will. And they will just refuse to not have a map. And that's totally fine. But I've been playing with absolutely no map. And again, it's one thing to say, oh, this is immersive. But it's a completely another thing to experience it. Like, it's an actual experience, because I literally have memorized what certain things look like based on the points of interest. And when I meet those points of interest, I immediately know where I am or what is near this point of interest. Again, this is why I love that I'm documenting all of this, because that's what happened to me the other day. The first time I ran around the zone looking for my... Okay, you put the wood in there. I was looking for the guild trainer. And I was like, oh, this guy is here and this tailor is here. Yeah, it was the tailor. I'm like, this will come in handy later. And then I didn't think about it again. I just went on with my day, and like 3 hours later, I was like, oh crap, I wonder where the tailor is. And I was like, I have a picture in my head of this and that. I'm like, let me go check out this general area, and it was there. You know, it's really not that difficult to just observe your surroundings and learn by your environment. And I know that's a little different than what you guys were talking about, but I'm using the no map situation as an example of how cool it is to actually get immersed into the world that you're living in. Sure. Not sure if he's offering cloth or just because that NPC was dropped it, but be nice to find out. Let's go. Yes. Ding for. And we got meditate. Heck yeah, dude. Nah, this is a huge deal. This changes everything. Super excited. Nah, this is so big. Bill said, yeah, gotta use your senses and community to figure stuff out. Yeah, exactly. It's so much fun. It's literally what makes the memories of the monsters and memories part of it. Because when you leave for the day, those are the thoughts that you're left with. You're like, dang, that dude was tight for helping me out. Or dang, I'm so glad I figured out that place. And you get to take those memories with you because it wasn't just looking at a GPS map. It's like your brain had to paint a picture with your imagination. And the best part about imagination is something that you carry with you. You know, it's like when we were kids, we'd play EQ, or some of us would play WoW, and we would go to school. And even though we didn't have all of our like manuals with us and stuff, we could sit there and daydream and visualize running through, what's the human city in Azeroth? What is the human city in Azeroth? Why can't my brain think tonight? But anyways, you picture it in your head, like you couldn't wait to get home, and you're like, I want to go to the inn, I want to go to this, and then after that I want to go to the barns where I can get those red Defias masks, and then I want to do this. And you have the image of everything in your head just because you were getting immersed into the world around you. Like, talk about escapism. It's great to have escapism, especially when you have that in your imagination. Stormwind, yes, thank you. Stormwind was an amazingly made city. Still one of my favorite human cities. Just as far as like the art style. You know, and obviously with the statues, and it just looked cool. Bill said, "Grats on 4, thank you." Swotus, I like this Evergrove city, but I feel like a maze rat with Alzheimer's. Yeah. So it's one of those things that it just takes some getting used to, and it's the most important thing is it's important to know it's a work in progress, and things will get fixed. Like my suggestion was on the lift, like speed it up by like 5%. Like I feel like the speed is fine, but because of how high up it goes out, I feel like slightly more speed would be nice. But it's those kind of suggestions, whether they accept them or not. There's going to be tweaking, there's going to be more POIs, and it's just going to become a lot more manageable, you know? And the other thing is, like, you kind of do it in small chunks, you know? These kind of games are designed in a way that you're not meant to consume all of... The intention is not for you to consume all the content. Or it is, but it's to... Oh my god! Oh my gosh, what the heck? Did you guys see that? Watch for that train coming back. Once they come back, they might walk past us. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think it's just brain rot. 4 days of streaming late at night and not getting a healthy amount of sleep. I'm officially experiencing brain rot. Yeah, Bill said it gets easier, SWOTUS. Mark Rowland said I'm playing EQ Project Quorum at the moment. It's so fun. Oh yeah, I love Project Quorum. I actually was gonna come back to Quorum a while ago, but I have to do a fresh install and I have to just reinstall everything, and it's a pain for me. I literally have like 6 different folders, and it's like Quorum install 1, Quorum install 2, because like each one would be slightly tweaked. But now there's a patcher, and now everything is just a lot easier to set up. But I just haven't got into it. And honestly, because Eminem has been doing these long playtests, I'm like, well, will I even have time? Swoda said, congrats on level 4. Thank you. Bill said, agree, slightly speedier lift would be nice. Yeah, and I'd say very slight. It doesn't need to be noticeable in the sense of, like, it doesn't need to be goofy or cartoony. It just needs to be like, okay, for the time it takes me to go from my guild trainer to the lift and then to go downstairs, and I realized I forgot something, so I need to go back up. How painful is that experience? And that's how I would practice it. Basically, you're up there, you go downstairs, you realize you forgot something, you go back upstairs. How frustrating was that experience? Now, the frustrating part is that you forgot something, but how much does the slow lift ride add to it? And if it doesn't really add that much stress to the situation, then you realize it's not the lift, it's the fact that you forgot something. But if you, what the heck? Oh, it's a crocodile companion. But if you realize like this is a lot more frustrating because the lift is slow, then yeah, it's probably the lift. Maybe you should speed it up a bit. But yeah, all that stuff is a work in progress. I mean, I'm not saying that to myself. It's just I feel like so many people, they see something like this and they set their expectations of, why isn't it not finished 5 stars, perfectly made with perfect polish? Most people don't, but still. Is that a human? Dude, there's a human in our midst. You guys see this? Oops. Guys, BRB, I gotta sell and buy spells. All right. Decided to go for a bit of a scenic run there. It's not every day it's daytime. So this is what I said earlier, like the apothecary. These points of interest make you know that this is something to do with plants, right? And as they continue to build out the city, I know that they're going to add more things to make the points of interest point to what you're going to get out of it, you know? So dang, this is so cool. All right. Let's do some selling, folks. It looks like I'm out of food. Alright, let's go buy my spells. Is there a food vendor here nearby? Not sure. Alright, let me catch up with the chat. Be nice. Swoda said, in Night Harbor you can ask the guards for directions. That would be nice in Evershade World too. Yeah, I actually heard, I was watching Sean's VOD on YouTube. It was regarding the day one testing. And that's one of the things that he said is not implemented yet, but they're working on it. Classic EverQuest said, the little bell noise gets me every time. Yeah, it's phenomenal. I don't need you. Actually, let me take a look. So, yeah, I don't need anything here. We're good. Maybe just need to buy some spells. Yeah, so like, here's a good example. So this is where the Druid guild is, and this is where something else is. Like, nothing about this building. The immediate thing that I think about when I see this for the first time, placeholder building, probably empty. Aha, I see a sign. Let's explore here. I would immediately ignore this building just because there's absolutely nothing there that would tell me that there's anything inside of it. Right? And it is a placeholder, because if it wasn't a placeholder, then it would be riddled with druidic type of things, right? So that's kind of like the point. Like here, clearly, okay, we got shields, axes, we got some kind of crafting things, weaponsmith. Maybe this is the fighter guild. And by the way, I have no idea, but well, fighter spell merchant, right? And somebody can tell me if I'm right, but when I see the word Wayguard and I see shields with axes hanging like that, it makes me think of this is probably something to do with a melee class or whatchamacallits, like specifically a warrior class. Alright, let's buy us some spells. I really need that fire beetle eye. Alright, now for the fun stuff. Camouflage, no. Cure blindness, no. Cure disease, no. Cure poison. Element break, gate. Lesser heal. Moonfire. Snare. We're gonna get Moonfire. Gate. Lesser heal. Not enough money. Okay, so I was worried that was gonna happen. So let's mem that right now. Oh shoot, did I already have this whole time? No, I didn't. Oh right, I didn't get the healing spell yet. All right, let's go back. And we're gonna finish selling some of this stuff, and then we're gonna go get some raw wood elf meat. I just realized I haven't taken a screenshot all day, so don't mind me. That's one. All right, let's cook up some meat. And I don't think the wolf meat is craftable. I was very surprised to see that. Yep, it's not. Alright, let's buy some. We need to buy some food and drink. We might need to go to the inn for that. Yeah. I think. Man, who was it that sells food and drink? I thought there was a merchant here that... Well, it's one of these. I'm gonna go look by the front door. I mean, by the front... Hold on. No. Alright, sorry about that. Let me catch up again. Built. Yeah, guards will give directions in the future, just not implemented yet. Yep. Pizza Spy, there should be a quest where... Oh, gosh. Pizza Spy said there should be a quest where you teach the shady merchant to be more ethical. Bill said, LOL. Swoda said, I like that idea, Pizza Spy. I hate to break it to you guys, but if it's a halfling, then you can't train a halfling to be more ethical. It's in their nature. If you haven't realized by the previous streams yet, I have a lot of beef with halflings. Gnomes are cool because, like I've said before, they make good footballs. Water flask, there you go. So I need water and I need regular food. Ration. See, look at this. He wants 24 for the ration. He's absolutely insane. I'm not buying anything from him. I mean, that's ridiculous. Drogo is crazy. Bill said, pretty sure most of the prof stuff in here was Nicodemus and Rift. I just put in some buildings and awnings, and Nicodemus moved them into place and decorated the spaces. Yeah, well, either way, I mean, it's crazy how much got done in such a short period of time. You guys did great. Bill said more props and buildings coming next playtest. Yeah, I can't wait. Now, I'm like 99.9% sure I know exactly where to get food and water, but I could have sworn there was a merchant inside the inn by the lift that had it. But we're gonna go to the barkeep because this guy I know for sure has food and water for the cheap. Yep, ration 6 and water 6. This is where you buy the food. Confirm. Confirm. Oh, really? Dang, I was that broke that I can't even afford. I didn't realize how broke I was. And I just bought another ration when I meant to buy something else. Okay. Dang, that's crazy. It's like my brain stopped functioning early today. It's all good. That's going to get us where we need to go. So now I'm going to go kill some of those brownies and collect their blood or their meat. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And I realized what's going on. So I genuinely think that I've just become super tired over the past few days, and my brain function, in part, has decreased. So, and now I'm trying to multitask by enjoying M&M and hanging out with you great people, so I apologize. I'm hanging in there, but I'm having a blast. Big blast. All right, let's see. More props and buildings coming next playtest. Walter said, Billith, are you a developer or a community manager or just a fan with info? I'll let him answer that. Billith said, Dev, yeah, I am an environmental artist. on the team and worked on this zone. Yeah, that's why I love these dudes. Because they're always hanging out. Zukin comes on and he's one of the graphics designers. Robert Engstrand, he's the composer of the music you're listening to right now. He joins the party a lot. So we're very blessed to have ZBrushed has been in here. And it's not just here as in like come to Class&Cool stream and meet the devs. It's not like that at all. They literally just go from stream to stream and just hang out with other people, you know, because they're cool like that. Or they're streaming on their own, sharing their development, which is why this group of people is like unlike anything you've ever seen in any other game. List one other game where almost every single developer streams their progress. I'm not talking about one person, I'm talking about all of them. So that's unheard of. Swotus said, "Oh cool, this zone looks great." Bill said, "Thanks. It's really been coming together lately." Indeed it has. Bill said, "I didn't realize this dude sold water and rations. I was eating lemons from Drogo for 10 copper points each." Hey man, you know, that's what we're all here for. We're here to help. Here to help each other. Bill said, "Lemons. This is a meal." Pizza Spy, Pizza Spy vitamin C accounted for. Yeah, indeed. You know, this never gets old. Just looking over your shoulder, you see the light beaming through the trees with the shadows casting, and you just catch the lift going up and down. Like, it's these little touches that make the world feel lived in. And it sounds so corny and lame, but like when you really think about it, it's like, nah, Class&Cool is right. Because somebody is summoning that lift. You know what I mean? Somebody's controlling it, somebody's requesting it goes up or down so they can continue with their journey. And it's not something that you're really paying attention for, but you see it through the corner of your eye and you're just like, the world is alive. It's good. Swoto said, haha, eating lemons is a meal. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, that's why I said I don't trust halflings. Because he won't sell you a ration, but he'll sell you a lemon for 10 copper. That's ridiculous. Or he will sell you the ration, but the ration was like 25 copper. No food for you. How do I keep aggroing these wolves, dude? I need to plan my spells better. Dude, I'm gonna die. Okay, anyways. Where can I find these little dryads? I need to find like a camp of them. For some reason, from the corner of my eye, I thought these were like emeralds when I looked here, but I realized they're trees. But that would actually look cool. Not like a lot of them, but like a random part of the zone where there was just like emeralds popping out. Maybe some kind of lore behind it leading to a cave. Alright, so this is the wasp worker bees area. Let me go this way and see if we can find... I think I know where they are. They're usually down here. What are these drakelings? Oh, they're yellow. Okay. Yeah, like around this area. Okay, there's one right there. Okay. A dryad fawn. Alright, so let's heal up really quick, and then we're gonna camp these guys for a little bit. We're gonna set up shop right here. Nope. Nope, don't do that. I'm out of wood. Darn it. Hope everyone's having a good night. Hopefully everybody got their share of M&M this week. Today's officially the 5th, but it's so early in the morning, so some of you are going to wake up on the 5th. And I hope you guys get a chance to play today, Friday, tomorrow, Saturday, and all of Sunday. I think the official end of the playtest is, if we're talking about Eastern time, Monday at 1 p.m. So you have all day Sunday, Saturday, and Friday. And don't forget, guys, all of your progress is saved. So if this is your first time doing the M&M playtest, you know, me, I've already made a couple alts, and I decided to do a Druid because this is my favorite class. You might make it to level 10, and then by the next playtest in November, you might make it to level 20 because it's going to be a 10-day test. So make the most of it, guys. Alright, let's knock these guys out. I need to stop fizzling. Nice. These guys better drop the meat, man. So I need about a stack of meat. I think I see one over there. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I knew that spell was going to make a huge difference. That's why I was selective about which one I got. I'm surprised the orcs aren't spawning over here. One recommendation is I think they need to add some more wood piles. I haven't run into that many because I know they're static. So usually after a while you kind of get into the rhythm. I was like, all right, I'm going to run from tree to tree. But yeah, I think that needs just a little bit of tweaking. Pizza Spy was playing an ogre today and had to duck under some doors. Not sure if intentional, but it increased the ogre vibe substantially. Hold on, I want to say something about that. Let me kill this dude first. No way. You just had to heal yourself. Okay, now I need to med up. Alright, let me sit down and med. In my little spot. Alright, so what Pizza Spy said was playing an ogre today and had to duck under some doors. Not sure if it was intentional, but it increased the ogre vibe substantially. So I think it's 100% intentional because when I was in Night Harbor, I actually found doors that were made for like a halfling or a gnome. Because remember, there's real estate, and I had to crouch through those doors. So not only do I think it's intentional, but I think and I hope it's going to be a gameplay mechanic where in some cases you won't even be able to get into a dungeon unless an enchanter casts a shrink spell on you, which I think would be a really cool mechanic. Like for some dungeons, you're going to need a druid to cast a spell so you can breathe in the water, because you got to maybe swim through a tunnel and there's no way you can hold your breath for that long. And for other dungeons, it should be like, I don't know, I'll just use a random example. Let's say it's a rat cave where the Rat King has become a humanoid and he's training up his army and blah blah blah. But the only way to get in is through basically a doorway the size of a rat. And the only way to get in is to either be a gnome, a halfling, or you have to get shrunk by an enchanter or whoever else has the shrink spell. One example I really like from iCUE is Befallen. So you guys remember Befallen and these doors? So if I remember correctly, there was collision between other players. So like I think if I run into, and I could be wrong, maybe I'm misremembering this, but like if I run towards another ogre player, I would actually not be able to get through. And I remember we were all in a panic trying to run away from a train. One of my group members was an ogre. He got stuck, and because he was in a panic, he like kept hitting the wrong button. So instead of crouch, he would do jump or whatever, and we were all bottlenecked behind him, and we couldn't get out the door, and the entire group got wiped because the ogre got stuck. So I think if that's not a game mechanic, it should be, because that would make for some hilarious things. Bill said, yeah, Woody mostly spawns by the spider slope. Rift is gonna get some in what? Yeah, wood mostly spawns by the spider slope. Rift is gonna get some in near the starting area. Okay. And thank you for the heads up. I'll go check that out. Swotus said, does killing the brownies dryads give negative faction? No, not yet. Which is why I'm farming them. Because so far, I get left alone. And these luminescent plants is a really nice touch. Love these plants. I really need to find a place where I can find a lot of these dryads. I mean, technically this is it, but I hope they add a camp for them in the future. They definitely drop a lot of cloth. I need to go get me a tailoring kit so I can start, what is it called? Using like the knife so I can turn it into cloth. Whatever, I might as well change my pants. For now, I'm gonna sell all the armor I get. Oh, my quest is not working out that great, guys. Yeah, seam rimmer, Asmodania. It's a seam ripper, and then you use the tailoring backpack or kit. And then if you take any of these pieces of cloth armor, it will give you cloth scraps in return. So I'm just mentioning that for those that don't know what I'm talking about. But yes, thank you. Yeah, I definitely need more brownies. If my plan is going to work, I need to find more of these guys. And for those that don't know, my plan was to collect raw wood elf meat, cook it, and sell it for 25 copper. And I think yesterday when I was playing, almost every single one was dropping it. And they would drop like sometimes 2 at a time, sometimes 1 at a time, but it was like super consistent. And the RNG deities are not liking me today. But with that being said, they've been dropping a lot of cloth, which also sells for a decent penny. Did I do it again? No, I didn't. Yeah, almost every single one has been dropping cloth armor, which is which is fine, but I want their meat. No meat. Oh, good. I can't do that right now, says. I'm waiting for early access to play a lot personally, so thank you for making these streams so informative. I feel like I'm learning a lot about the early game watching you. Absolutely, man. I'm glad you're here, and I do hope this is helpful, but I also hope that I try to avoid talking about things and ways of making them spoilers. And it's like, it's not so much like, for me, hopefully I'm not, it's more of like theory crafting and just kind of like, this is what I think I should be doing. Nothing with me is ever definitive. I'm experimenting, and I really hope that it just encourages other people to experiment, you know, because there's definitely going to be a lot of YouTubers out there, and bless their hearts, it's wonderful they do this. They make videos and guides and tips and tricks, and I think those are really good. But they're, especially with games like EverQuest, if you only rely on those, you miss out on the stuff that are secrets, or I don't know, just those little things that aren't talked about. What I hope the Eminem devs do with Eminem is I hope they shove so many secrets into the game that it would be overwhelming and confusing for a YouTuber to try to document all of it and make sense of all of it. Because in EverQuest, what I remember is people would find secrets and then keep them to themselves. They wouldn't tell the community. I mean, I think even I found something like that, and I noticed nobody else knew about it, so I was like, well, I'm not telling anyone about this. This is my little secret. You know? I mean, something should be shared with the community where people figure it out collectively, and you see a new player, you want to give them a tip in the right direction. But how cool is it when you discover something like, let's say I randomly ran past this rock, and I was just clicking around, and then this freaking opened up into a cave. And there was like a bear in there. And I'm like, well, why is there a bear in here? You kill the bear, and he has like this leather chest piece for some reason. And then you see a corpse of a Wood Elf warrior. And apparently the bear ate the chest piece off of the Wood Elf warrior. And the rocks were caved in, and that's why when you clicked on it, you walked in there, you know? I mean, I wouldn't be quick to tell somebody about that because that's a secret. And it's meant to be discovered. But then there's little stuff like, hey, where do I buy food? It's like, yeah, you gotta find an inn. Or how do I cut some trees down? You go to that big fallen tree that you see, run to the end of it, and right there's a wood cutting trainer. So just follow this big log, jump to the bottom, and boom, you can buy an axe from him. So hopefully you guys are getting some information from this, but also just go and have your own adventure, and don't let me spoil anything for you. One of the things that a good example of a secret is just figuring out that some kind of trash, like trash loot, sells for good money, right? There's obviously going to be stuff that's oversaturated, and everybody's going to talk about like rattlesnake skins or pristine crocodile skins. Like everybody's going to know about that. But what if you find some random kind of meat? Let's say it's wolf meat. You cook it, and what normally sells for 5 copper, it sells for 30 copper. And you notice no one's really talking about that. Like, congratulations, you just found your own little hustle. You know? And the only way you find these things out is just by experimenting. So hopefully they just keep sprinkling this random stuff in there. What it does is it personalizes the experience for each one of us, because it makes us feel like we're creating our own impact on the world, and we're not just following a linear type of road, but we're doing our own thing. So Bill said, yeah, I think that's what helped EQ feel so mysterious too. Lots of random stuff that you don't fully know what it is. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, these dryads, man, I feel like I saw a lot more of them yesterday. Where are they at? I'm gonna need to just attack. I'm gonna need to just start attacking everything I see to make it worth my while. Yeah, wasp drones, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start killing the wasps. Because I think the wasps drop some kind of like egg sac that sells for a decent amount. Oh, they sound so cute. It sounds like they're sneezing on you. Yeah. Alright. Swoto said, yeah, I think it's what happened. Swoto said, in a game like this, you really have to spend time in the world to get to know where things are, and I agree with that. Bill said, phew, getting late here. I gotta get some sleep. Thanks for the great stream, Class&Cool. I appreciate the feedback and chill hangout space. Anytime, man. It's always a pleasure to have you guys here. And I'm sure you've heard it a lot before, but I think I speak for everyone when we say we're super proud of the team and all the hard work you guys have been doing to make Monsters of Memory successful. So just keep up the good work. You have like an army of people that are rooting for you guys, and you should be very proud. I think Sean said it best, that you've already succeeded, because when you get a ragtag team of devs and start building a game, and then you're already in the top 10 most wanted, like, congratulations, you've already achieved success. So keep up the great work, and come back anytime. I'm gonna be following suit with that as well, because it's getting late, and tomorrow's another day, and we can revisit this tomorrow. And I'll find another quest, another pyramid scheme on how to make some money. But thank you. Alright, so let's see here. I noticed these guys aren't really spawning here now. I should take this time to either A, find another camp, or B, find a different strategy. And it's probably going to be a combination of both. So if I could find a place where there's more dryads, we're in good shape. So we're gonna make our way up this, towards this hill over here, and we're gonna do some exploration. Yeah, so while I appreciate all this cloth, man, it's just not good enough. I want meat. Here, we're actually gonna gate. Oops. Yeah, I don't feel like buying any of this stuff, really. Not right now. Bill said appreciate it. Definitely more good stuff in the works. Good night. Good night to you too. JT Perp. So please. Sal please. Yeah. So Sal. I say so and Sal. It doesn't freaking matter. You'll get some soon, don't you worry. As soon as I hit level 8, I'll be giving Sals for everyone. Dang, I just realized it's 3 a.m. and my cat still hasn't come home from his hunt or whatever he's doing outside. Yeah, the fogginess combined with the rain. It's pretty freaking cool. Okay. Nah, this is vibe right here. Alright, be right back. Alrighty. Alright, so let's cook this meat. Oh, look. Cooked deep elf, high elf, and wood elf meat. Good to know. So those wasp wings also add up. So it might be a good idea to kill some wasps for the egg sack, but then also get stacks of the wings. I think I got enough cloth too to make myself dangerous. Let me see here. Which way do I go? It's this way. Let me see what I got. Well worn. Hold on, so I got pants. I thought I got more than this. Oh yeah, I did. This is all the cloth I just got. Yeah, I got a pretty decent amount of cloth. That's nice. And if you're wondering why I'm getting rid of all my cloth, it's because, except for my pants, I need to be wearing pants. I'm not about to run around with no pants. Because I figured I'm just going to save up for something else. Tattered hide. Instead of that. I mean, as we start wrapping up the night, so we accomplished 2 things. 2 out of the 3 things. Number 1, we leveled up. Number 2, we got some of our spells. And then number 3, well, there's 4 things. Number 3, I wanted to get a new weapon. And number 3, I wanted to get some more tattered. And I'm okay with getting only 3 out of 4 of those things done tonight, but still. Let's sell the cloth armor. Tattered cloth. Okay, nice. And then let's sell these wood pelts. Which I remember it was up here, so I'm gonna run up this way. Oh yeah, the other thing I was going to do is I was going to start my tailoring. But we'll do the tailoring tomorrow. I mean, there's just so many different things we could be working on right now, and I love that. Swoda said, some cats will stalk a mouse so patiently waiting for it to come out. Yeah. That's kind of how we are. We're the cats and Monster Memories is the mouse. We're over here stalking it, waiting patiently for it to come out. Oh wait, this is the leather worker. I'm tripping. It's down here. Wait, what am I doing? I'm looking for the leather worker. I'm tripping. The skins, the pet skins, they sell to the leather worker, not the tailor. I'm over here like jumping off the ramp so swiftly you can call me Taylor Swift. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Get it? Because Swift and going to the tailor, even though, no, okay. I just need a leather worker and some sleep. Alright, here we go. So we're gonna sell. Now how much money do we have? Oops. We have 4 silver and 62. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get a few more of our level 4 spells. I'm gonna make today all about getting the level 4 spells, and then tomorrow we're gonna get the new armor and the weapon. And I should probably buy some food or some water. That might help out a little bit. Let's see, snaring vines. Is this the AoE? Cripple nearby targets with snaring vines, decreasing their movement speed by 30% for 8 seconds. I feel like this would be best used in like an get out of dodge situation. Like if you pull one too many mobs and you need to run to a guard, but I don't know. I really hope that they do add more area of effect spells, like Careless Lightning or something like that. Touch of Nature. Unity. Oh my gosh, I forgot how important all these spells are. Alright, Unity is important, but we're gonna hold off on that. This is healing. Dang it. So many good spells, but so little money. Alright, I got an idea. Soulbind. We're gonna buy that. And then we're gonna buy Touch of Nature, because that's a really good healing spell. The Touch of Nature is like healing over time. Kind of like regeneration, but not really. Or basically, instead of like doing minor heal multiple times, you cast it once and then it bumps you up like that. Over like the course of like 4 seconds. You can keep using this spell to like level 8, no problem, and it still comes in handy. So we're gonna Soulbind, Gate, Snare, okay. We're gonna replace this spell with Lesser Heal. And we're gonna put Snare as our number 4. And then we're gonna put Root as our number 5. And you're gonna see why I just memorized Soulbind in a minute. I'm gonna cheese it a little bit, so don't get mad. You'll see. Watch this. Wait. Hold on. Let me think this through. If I was trying to be a cheese ball right now, what would I do? Trying to think. No, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. Basically, I'm gonna soul bind myself on the top of the lift so I can just teleport. Save a little because I'm bound down there right now. So instead of waiting for the lift, I can just soul bind myself at the top, go sell really quick, and then cheese it by jumping off. Alright, so there's a trader. I'm gonna do it right here. Oh, yeah, shucks. I mean, that's pretty much it. I think I only need to buy 2 more spells, and that's gonna give me my entire toolkit until level 8. Any other spells after that are just bonuses. Like cure disease, cure sickness, all that stuff. I'll get those sooner or later, but the main ones I already have. I have my snare, I have my heal, I have my nuke. I have my gate. All the important stuff I have. I fizzled again. I'm gonna keep fizzling. You are dehydrated, have nothing to drink. You gotta be kidding me. That's probably why I'm not medding up. Whoops. Jeez, I can't do this. Alright. There you go. Not dehydrated anymore. Alright. Now we should be able to get this done. And by the way, I mean, this is a fair point to stop. We're officially 3 hours into this in about 15 seconds. We're going to be at the 3-hour mark. I think we had a blast so far. I had a blast. Got a lot done. And I can hear by my voice that I'm getting to that woozy state where anything I speak is not getting filtered through my brain anymore, which can be concerning. Not a lot of brain activity going on in here, and a lot of you are probably asleep already. For those that are crazy enough to still be listening, you're probably either asleep at your desk or asleep on your couch with me talking through your speakers, which is kind of creepy when you think about it, because that means you're asleep, but I'm over there speaking while the sound is coming through the speakers in your house and into your room. So you wouldn't even know what I'm saying right now because you're technically asleep if you're watching this live. So if you have like a pet or an animal, and I got an idea. I'm going to tell your dog to go eat a treat in dog tongue. Ready? Woof, 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 woof. There you go. I also told him to scratch up your couch. And you won't know because you're passed out right now. That's what you get for falling asleep watching this. Delora, I'm gonna cheer you back. That was the weirdest thing. See, that's what I'm talking about. The words coming out of my mouth are not being filtered through my brain. That was dumb. I feel like I just lost brain cells hearing me say what I just said. But anywho, it's time. It's time. We're gonna call it. It's been fun, super jazzy, fresh. I'm gonna do one more scenic run, and oh yeah, hold on. Swoda said, I'm not asleep, but I'm on the West Coast. Okay. You know, it's funny you say that because I realized that a lot of times I'm always like, well, I started late again, but it's like only midnight for people on the West Coast. And there's also people in Europe that are watching that are like, oh, well, it's all good. It's the morning here. I just woke up to you. So it's even more awkward when you think about it, because I'm like over here dragging barely, and they're like drinking their cup of coffee. Like, what the heck is wrong with this dude? Nah, but it's all fun. I actually love the fact that there's people in different countries that are hanging out with me here. Nice. You guys want to start a guild real quick? Class and cool. I'm just kidding. Thalora said I'm watching the stream and all of a sudden I was in it. Yeah, there you go. I figured that's why Thalora was cheering. Everybody cheer for Thalora. Nah, I can do better than this. Nah. I don't know if the rain is helping or making it worse. I think it's making it worse. It's making my draw distance all smaller. Yeah, okay. This guy looks chill. Alright, barkeep. We're gonna call it right here. Alright, as usual, thank you guys. Majestic said it's 5:30 p.m. Goodness gracious. Yo, Majestic, that's what I meant. Not only Europe. I didn't want to say Australia, but I didn't know exactly what time it was, so there you go. 5:30 in Australia. In Finland, I think it's still like morning or afternoon. Anyways, it's been super fun. Swota said, alright, adios, thanks for the stream. No, thank you guys. And let me go through this list. So, Classic EverQuest, as usual, thank you for being here. Brian Joseph, happy to have you here. Twig or Twidget, don't ever stop being you. Slayheim. I swear I'm gonna start calling you Slayhelm, because that caught on after last night. Slayhelm, Heim, thank you for being here, and again, thank you for all your Monsters and Memory streams. Same thing about Classic EverQuest. His YouTube channel makes some really good Eminem content, so go check him out. I can't do that right now. Thank you for being here, brother. Majestic, I just talked to you. I'm not going to say anything to you. I'm just kidding. You have a great night too. Bilth, thank you for everything you're doing as one of the developers for Monsters and Memory, so I appreciate you joining today. Hopefully I see you next time. Asmodania, thank you for, I think you said your first time here, so super excited to have you here, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Swotus, I already talked to you. Psych, I'm just kidding. I'll say goodnight again. I hope you have a great night, and thank you for hanging out. And I'm glad that we are able to figure out the whole spell situation, and you could find the merchant. Anytime you have a question, just feel free to chime in, or feel free to ask, and I'll chime in if I know what the dealio is. But besides that, oh yeah, Pizza Spy, thanks for hanging out. Love the name. And that's pretty much it. You guys have been a lot of fun to hang out with. It really never gets old. So tomorrow, really quick, what we're gonna do. So let's see, explore skeleton ruins. Final Druid spells level 4. Start tailoring. Okay. So it's going to be the same as all this, but just I want to start my tailoring and everything. Boat ride? Question mark. Maybe. I think that's it though. Anyways, peace and chicken grease and all that other good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. And make sure you check out monstersandmemories.com, sign up to their Discord, so you can finish out the last 2 days of the stress test. The play test, September 1st to September 7th. And then the next one after that will be in November. So hopefully you get your fix. And I will see you on the next one. See ya.